Have you ever felt your heart racing, your breathing speeding up, and your muscles tensing out of nowhere? This could be your fight, flight, or freeze response, your body's way of dealing with threats. The problem is that in today's world, this response can be triggered even when there's no real danger, leading to intense anxiety. But what if I told you that you can turn it off? Today, I'll show you how to use grounding techniques to calm your nervous system and regain control. So, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on anxiety and well-being. Let's do this together. Imagine you're walking down the street and suddenly a dog runs toward you. Your heart starts pounding, your hands get sweaty, and your body prepares to run or react. This happens because your brain has detected a potential threat and activated the fight or flight response. But why does this also happen in situations that aren't actually dangerous, like public speaking or receiving an unexpected message? How the brain reacts to fear and anxiety. Our brain has an area called the amygdala, which works like an emergency alarm. When it detects a threat, it sends a signal to release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This prepares the body to act quickly, whether by fighting, running away, or even freezing. Effects on the body: fast heartbeat, short, rapid breathing, tense muscles, confused or catastrophic thoughts. This reaction was essential for our ancestors' survival, helping them escape predators. But today, daily stress can trigger this response even when there's no real danger. Why can't we just turn it off by thinking? Many people try to calm themselves down by saying, "Relax," but that rarely works. That's because the fight or flight response is automatic and unconscious. It doesn't rely on rational thought, but on our nervous system. The good news is that there's a more effective way to break this cycle. In the next sections, we'll explore how the body can also be used to calm the mind. If the fight or flight response puts us on high alert, the body also has a built-in mechanism to calm us down. The parasympathetic response, also known as rest and digest. What is the parasympathetic response? The autonomic nervous system has two main parts. Sympathetic system, responsible for the fight or flight reaction. Parasympathetic system, responsible for relaxation and recovery. When the parasympathetic system is activated, it counteracts stress and helps the body return to balance. Effects of the parasympathetic response on the body: slows down heart rate, relaxes muscles, improves digestion, lowers blood pressure. Why activating this response is important? The problem is that many people spend their entire day stuck in a state of alertness without giving their body time to relax. Over time, this can lead to issues like insomnia, chronic anxiety, and fatigue. But the good news is that we can consciously stimulate the parasympathetic response through simple techniques, like grounding, which we'll explore next. When we feel anxious, we can regulate it in two ways: top-down or bottom-up. But what does that mean? Top-down, using thoughts to regulate emotions. This approach focuses on controlling anxiety with the mind, using techniques such as cognitive restructuring, changing negative thoughts, positive self-talk, everything will be fine, mindfulness meditation to observe thoughts without reacting. The problem? When the body is already in a heightened state, thoughts alone may not be enough to turn off the fight or flight response. Have you ever tried to calm yourself down logically, but your body remained tense? This happens because the emotional brain, the limbic system, can override the rational brain, the prefrontal cortex. Bottom up, using the body to calm the brain. Instead of trying to control anxiety with thoughts, this approach uses the body itself to signal to the brain that everything is okay. Effective techniques include deep breathing exercises, physical movements to release tension, grounding techniques that shift focus to the present moment. Why can the bottom-up approach be more effective? Our body constantly sends signals to the brain. If it senses muscle tension and rapid breathing, it assumes there's danger and keeps us on high alert. But when we apply bottom-up techniques, the brain receives new information and starts to deactivate the anxiety alarm. This is the foundation of grounding, which we'll explore in the next section. Grounding is a powerful technique for managing anxiety because it helps turn off the brain's alert mode and shift focus to the present. What is grounding? Grounding involves using your senses and body to connect with the present moment. Instead of getting stuck in anxious thoughts about the past or future, you direct your attention to what's happening right now. How does grounding help with anxiety and trauma? Reduces activation of the fight or flight system, strengthens the parasympathetic response, promoting relaxation, eases symptoms of panic attacks and dissociation. When the brain perceives concrete stimuli, like the ground under your feet or the texture of an object in your hand, it understands that there's no immediate danger and starts to relax. Benefits of grounding for anxiety sufferers: prevents the mind from getting stuck in catastrophic thoughts, increases the sense of control over the body and emotions, builds inner security, and reduces anxiety attacks. Now that we understand how grounding works, let's explore why it's such an effective tool for turning off the fight or flight response. Anxiety often traps us in two mental states: fear of the past, lingering negative memories; worry about the future, fear of what might happen. Grounding breaks this cycle by shifting focus to the present, where we are usually safe. An anxious mind lives in the past or future. When we're anxious, our brain acts like an alarm going off for no reason. Thoughts like, "What if something goes wrong?" or "I can't handle this," keep the body in a state of high alert. But when we shift attention to what we're sensing right now, the texture of an object, the air entering our lungs, the sounds around us, our mind steps out of this overactive state. How grounding helps process difficult memories. For those who have experienced trauma, the mind can relive emotions as if the event were still happening. Grounding helps remind us that the past is not happening right now and that the body is safe, interrupting intrusive thoughts with the present moment. When anxiety strikes, instead of trying to stop the thoughts, we can redirect them to something tangible. This reduces fight or flight activation and brings mental clarity. Now that we know why grounding is so effective, let's learn some practical exercises to apply it in daily life. Now that you understand how grounding helps turn off the fight or flight response, let's get practical. Here are some simple techniques you can use daily to quickly reduce anxiety. Body awareness. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the texture, temperature, and pressure. Focus on the sensation of your body touching the chair, bed, or floor. Press your hands together and pay attention to the pressure and warmth. This technique helps the brain recognize that you are in a safe environment. Physical movements to reduce tension. Squeeze an object like a stress ball and slowly release it. Gently tap your arms and legs, feeling the vibration. Try light stretches to relax your muscles. These movements signal to the brain that there's no need to stay on high alert. Environmental awareness. 5-4-3-2-1 technique. If anxiety feels overwhelming, try this exercise. 5 things you can see around you. For things you can touch, fabric of your clothes, objects, furniture. 3 sounds you can hear, traffic, people talking, your own heartbeat. 2 scents you can smell, coffee, perfume, wood. 1 taste in your mouth, mint, water, food. This technique shifts the brain's focus to the present, reducing anxiety in minutes. Now that you know how to apply grounding, let's discuss why practicing regularly is key to long-term results. Grounding is most effective when practiced consistently. The more you use these techniques, the faster your brain learns to turn off the fight or flight response. How to measure anxiety before and after exercises. Before starting, do a quick self-check. On a scale of 0 to 10, how high is your anxiety right now? How is your breathing? Is your body tense? After practicing grounding, reassess. Did you feel any improvement? This self-evaluation helps you recognize the benefits of grounding over time. Why practice even when you feel fine? Many people only look for techniques when their anxiety is already high. But practicing daily, even in calm moments, strengthens your body's ability to regulate stress. Over time, grounding becomes automatic. Your brain learns to exit the fight or flight response faster. You develop a stronger sense of emotional control. Long-term benefits. Changing your relationship with anxiety. Anxiety doesn't just disappear, but you can learn to manage it. The more you practice these techniques, the more inner stability you build. Now that you know how grounding works and how to practice it, let's wrap things up. The fight or flight response is natural, but when it stays activated all the time, it leads to intense anxiety. Thankfully, grounding helps bring the brain back to the present and turn off the state of alertness. Practicing these techniques regularly can reduce anxiety attacks and improve your well-being. Consistency is the key. If you found this content helpful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. And tell me in the comments, which of these strategies will you try first? See you in the next video.